What happens when a simple congratulatory message spirals into a diplomatic standoff? The recent China-Philippines relations give us a clue. Picture this. Filipino President Ferdinand Marcos, in a moment of international camaraderie, sends a congratulatory note to newly elected Taiwanese President Lai Ching-te. A simple gesture, right? Well, not so fast. This act of diplomacy was met with a swift and potent response from China, who summoned the Philippine ambassador and issued a stern warning to Manila: don't play with fire. If you're scratching your head, wondering why a congratulatory message could ignite such a reaction, you're not alone. But in the intricate dance of international diplomacy, every step, every word holds meaning far beyond its surface. This diplomatic kerfuffle started when President Marcos took to social media to congratulate President-elect Lai, a staunch opponent of China and its territorial claims on Taiwan. Marcos expressed his anticipation for future cooperation between the Philippines and Taiwan, a sentiment that didn't sit well with Beijing. China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs was quick to express its displeasure. Spokeswoman Mao Ning stated that China was strongly dissatisfied and resolutely opposes Marcos's remarks, demanding a responsible explanation from Manila. The Philippines' Foreign Ministry responded, stating that Marcos's remarks were a way of recognizing the Philippines and Taiwan's mutual interests, including the around 200,000 overseas Filipino workers on the island. They affirmed their commitment to the One China policy, but this did little to quell China's ire. To Beijing, these remarks were a violation of the One China principle, a principle that Beijing holds as the basis of its claim to sovereignty over Taiwan. They further accused Marcos of a serious breach of the political commitments made by the Philippines to China and a gross interference in China's internal affairs. Now you might be wondering, what's the big deal about a congratulatory message? To understand this, we need to delve into the One China principle. The One China principle, a policy that has shaped China's relations with the rest of the world, especially when it comes to Taiwan. This policy, often referred to as the cornerstone of China's foreign policy, is the assertion that there is only one China, including Taiwan, and that Beijing is its only legitimate government. This principle has been the bedrock of Beijing's stance on Taiwan since the Civil War ended in 1949. Now let's delve into how this principle plays out in the recent diplomatic skirmish between China and the Philippines. When the Philippines congratulated Taiwan's President-elect Lai Ching-te on his victory, Beijing was quick to express its disapproval. According to Beijing, this act of congratulations was not just a simple diplomatic gesture. It was perceived as a violation of the One China principle, a direct challenge to China's claim of sovereignty over Taiwan. China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs stressed that the remarks made by Filipino President Ferdinand Marcos were a serious breach of the political commitments the Philippines made to China. They see it as a gross interference in China's internal affairs. Beijing has warned Manila not to play with fire on the Taiwan issue, urging the Philippines to stop immediately its wrongful words and deeds on Taiwan-related issues. This is a delicate situation. While the Philippines maintains its adherence to the One China policy, it also acknowledges its mutual interests with Taiwan, including the 200,000 overseas Filipino workers on the island. Manila insists that the congratulatory message was a way of recognizing these interests. Yet, the repercussions of this diplomatic tussle are not confined to these two countries alone. It's a reminder of the broader geopolitical tensions surrounding the One China principle and the intricate dance of diplomacy required to navigate them. With this backdrop in mind, let's move deeper into the ensuing diplomatic fallout. The diplomatic fallout from this incident is far from over, with both sides standing firm on their positions. In response to Beijing's fury, the Philippines has held its ground. Manila asserts that the congratulatory message sent to Taiwan's President-elect Lai Ching-te was not a violation of the One China principle, but a recognition of mutual interests. They emphasized the significance of over 200,000 overseas Filipino workers on the Taiwanese island, acknowledging Taiwan's role as a host nation and their successful democratic process. However, this isn't just about a congratulatory note. This episode is part of a larger narrative of escalating tension between China and the Philippines. The two nations have been locked in a bitter dispute over territorial claims in the South China Sea, adding another layer of complexity to this diplomatic chess game. But let's widen the lens a bit more. The Philippines isn't alone in acknowledging Taiwan's election. Other world leaders, including U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Japanese Foreign Minister Yoko Kamikawa, have also extended their congratulations to President-elect Lai. This suggests that the fallout from Manila's move might have broader implications, hinting at a possible shift in the international approach towards Taiwan. In the background of these diplomatic maneuvers, Beijing continues its military activity around Taiwan. The dragon doesn't sleep, and it has made clear its intent to seize Taiwan, which it considers part of its territory, by force if necessary. In the face of these pressures, Taiwan's newly elected President Lai, who leans towards independence, remains open to dialogue, extending an olive branch to China. However, Beijing has so far snubbed these attempts at conversation. As this diplomatic spat continues to unfold, it serves as a stark reminder of the complexities of international relations and the precarious balance that must be maintained. The world watches with bated breath as we navigate these turbulent waters of diplomacy, hoping for peaceful resolutions while preparing for potential storms.